Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Today is a Thursday. It's August 8th, 2019, and I'm glad to have you guys here. Now, let's get started. Let's open up the charts right here, and let's talk about something. First thing I want to talk about is there's something going on with these markets, and I'll tell you what it is. It's a strange phenomenon that started, and what it is if they get bad news, and I mean it can be the worst news ever available, the markets will fall one day, but the very next day they all try to catch the dip. It's like the markets are almost impervious to the news, to the things that are actually going on in the world. They're just like, well, they're a herd. That's basically what it is, and it's a herd mentality. And so what it is until we really get some awareness out there that of the potential situation that we're actually in, we're going to keep going through this phenomenon where it doesn't matter what the news is. I mean, the sky could really literally be falling. The market will fall that day, and the next day they forget all about it. And they go back to normal, which is pushing the market back up, and this phenomenon is a result of what the Fed's done, with their years of quantitative easing, and everybody's got into this mentality of buy the dip because it's going to go back up again. It's hard to break that mentality. You know what it reminds me of? They used to have a machine back in the old days. Used to have a chicken inside it. And you had a thing you could put a back in those days, I think it was either a dime or a quarter inside, and the chicken would peck on the keys, and then corn would fall that the chicken could eat, and it would look like the chicken was playing the piano, but the chicken became conditioned to peck on the keys to get the corn, and that's what these market people are like. They're like the chicken that pecks on the keys. They have about as much sense as that chicken pecking on the keys, honest to God, because they don't realize that the world is actually crumbling around them, and these markets, at a certain point, this realization is going to set in, and oh my goodness, it's going to be a fundamental sell-off like you guys never seen before. And where's the bottom? Where's the bottom going to be? I don't know. It's going to seem like a bottomless market when it really goes down, I think, I don't know where the bottom might be, to tell you the truth. Let's get a look here at the gold price today, What we're looking at is $1493.70 a bid and $1494.70 ask. And the gold's holding its own. It's holding up. Just a second. Service unavailable. Error. Just a second. Here. There we go. Okay, so here's silver. Let's take a look at silver today. Silver's holding up pretty good, too. It's dropping a little bit more than gold. It's at $16.81, and it's down 27 cents on the day. But, it's made an awful big move to the upside, and this is to kind of be expected. Like I say, one day they all run for safety, and the next day they go back to what they were doing again. It doesn't matter. I mean, how big the catastrophe is. This is some sentiment right now, but at a certain point, it is going to matter. It's going to dawn on them all at the same time, and then it's going to be really on, and that's what's coming. That's what's coming, I think, in November. Let's take a look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations. $306.9 billion. It's holding up pretty good, but cryptocurrency, I think, is getting ready for a leg up pretty darn soon. Let's take a look, and we'll refresh the page. 306.7. Yeah, it's not really moving much today. Bitcoin is at $11,824.59. Ethereum's $223. XRP is 30 cents. Bitcoin Cash is $332. Litecoin is $89.65, excuse me. And Binance coin has really done well lately. It's up to $30.55. Binance coin has really been on a tear lately. You know, it's approaching Litecoin's market capitalizations. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones this morning, and we're going to have to refresh the page to get an accurate reading on this, but it looks like it's up today. It's up 89 points on the day so far. I guess what's making it go up is the news that there's a big, huge trade war going on. India and Pakistan are pushing at each other. All these things that are going on are helping the market to go up today, you know. Things like the Brexit and Italy is heading toward a cliff of a disaster. The Japanese are buying Italian bonds, you know. I guess they figure we'll buy Italian bonds because our elderly people in the country, our pensioners, when they retire, they can retire on the new Italian lira, which is going to be worth absolutely nothing. That's good logical thinking, isn't it? Let's take a look now at crude oil. It's $52.40. It's up $1.31. It says on the day today. But you know, I hear talk. They're actually. I heard one news article actually say that crude oil could, in the short term, go down as low as $30. Wow, that's a big drop in price. That's nearly cutting it in half. That would have a big effect, you know. But that's a deflationary effect. Let's take a look now at U.S. Treasuries. See what they're doing. Treasuries are bouncing back a little bit. The yields are rising today. Well, that doesn't mean they're bouncing back. That actually means that they're actually falling in price, you know, because they're an inverse relationship. The lower the price of Treasury goes, you know, that's a bull market in Treasuries, and bear market is when the yields rise like today, you know. It's just the exact opposite of every other market. It's a crazy upside down mess. But anyway, yields are rising today, and it's fairly significant. We're seeing 8.8 basis points on the U.S. 30-year. Oh, and by the way, guys, tomorrow they're supposed to deliver my new camera. It'll take 1080p at 30 frames a second, and it's another Logitech. They have bad microphones on them. But they have the best picture quality. I'm hoping I get lucky this time and I get a decent microphone on it. We'll see. They had them on sale. Really cheap, you know. They had a good bargain on them, so I picked one up. Anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index today. 97.61, and it's been going along at 97. You know, I can go back like 4 months ago, and it was 97. So it went up to 98, and it went down to 96, and then it went back up to 98, back down to 96, and now it's at 97.61 again. So the dollar hasn't really been going anywhere for quite a long time. You know, if I take a look at this chart and we pull out the 1 year, you can see this. It is very slowly creeping upwards, isn't it? But I mean, for the most part, it's been going along sideways, you know. Let's take a look now. Japanese investors, they're splurging on Australian bonds and on Italian bonds in this hunt for yield. I'm telling you, if they're that desperate for yield, well, you know, they might actually buy into cryptos. Big, I mean, you know, really big. Like, they're buying a lot of these Italian bonds at the fastest pace in 4 years. Record amount of Australian paper, too. The global decline in bond yields has forced investors to seek higher yielding debt. So they'll buy it no matter what, as long as it's high yield. Why don't I go and buy a big, I'll go to Staples, you know, where they sell paper and office supplies and everything, and I'll buy a big stack of paper, 500 pages of paper, and I'll issue my own debt, Glencorp, you know, and what I'll do is I'll give them massive yield, 100% daily, you know. They want yield, I'll give them yield, all the yield they want. Let's take a look now at Deutsche Bank. You know, Deutsche Bank, you know, is starting to decline again. I'm expecting a really big decline when it becomes absolutely obvious that this restructuring of Deutsche Bank is not going to work, guys. It's just not going to work. Chopping the bank to pieces is not going to make it better. This just ain't going to work. Anyway, when it becomes obvious it ain't going to work, well, Deutsche Bank's holding the biggest derivatives book in the world, practically, of any bank. I mean, okay, it's right up there anyway. And it's connected into all the other derivatives books and all these other banks, you know. It's going to be a mess when that goes down. And I think it's going to go down, but I think it's going to go down after what happens in November. I think what happens in November is going to trigger Deutsche Bank, probably in December or maybe in January or in the first quarter, to go down too. And that's going to just add fuel to the mess we already have, you know. And oh, by the way, if we haven't got enough troubles already, there's a little place called Kashmir. Keep your eye on it carefully. It's right in between India and Pakistan. And oh man, they're upset about it, you know. And I mean, India and Pakistan could basically... I'm not even going to bother talking about it. You guys keep up on the news on it, though, in case this situation it really explodes. Anyway, listen, thank you guys for listening to this market report, and I hope to be on a better camera very soon. Maybe tomorrow afternoon I might come and deliver it for me. See you guys later, and have a great day, and give me a thumbs up. Bye-bye, guys.